Welcome to Screenwriters Beat! Yay! Welcome back, guys! Here we are with episode
Hey guys!
16.
Hi!
And once again, we have our very talented and fun, and actually, you know, they're just nice people, I have to say, of working screenwriters. Starting off with our very own Eric Ingram.
Welcome, screenwriting world. There's a reason why I'm a writer, not a singer.
Eric, tell us what you've been up to. Tell us some good news. What's going on with you?
I guess, let me see. Recently, actually today, I woke up and ISA, International Screenwriting Association, got contacted me today. So they want to feature me. Actually, they are. It's up right now. To feature me on their writers spotlight page because they saw the buzz about the 4 options in 4 months.
Great.
So
very cool.
That's
very cool.
literally a couple hours ago. So I'm like, hey.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Sweet.
We will put that link up.
Very cool.
Yay! You should get more and more attention. I love it. Super. We also have a very talented and funny Heidi Mastrogiovanni. Hello.
Hi there. You are all so nice. I so love speaking with you all, and welcome to the audience. We love you guys. I'm pitching the half-hour comedy series that's the sequel to our web series, and that's really fun. We're starting that this week.
Oh, super.
Oh,
well, I'll put
exciting.
the link because I think everyone's got to check out the webisodes. They're out there to see. They're funny.
We would love it. Thank you, sweetie. We'd love to have you guys visit us.
Super. Heidi. Oh, so not Heidi. Nicole Jones-Dion. I don't have 2 Heidis. I have 2 Nicoles.
We've got 2 Nicoles.
Yeah.
I'm going to change your name, though, okay?
So I am actually working on a TV movie that's going to start shooting in December. I can't really say a lot about it yet, but once it's done and I have an air date, I can let everybody know. If they're inclined, they can check it out.
Definitely.
Great.
Oh.
Great.
We like to have some inside scoop there. I love that.
Yeah.
You'll have to talk to us in code about it.
I know, right? No.
It's spooky,
Right.
so it will be on one of those spooky channels.
Oh,
Okay.
excellent.
I just hope there aren't any sharks in it. No.
It's spooky. That's funny.
Not that spooky. Okay. Nicole Kiefler, welcome back.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here. I love being part of this panel. And hi to everybody out there, all of you great writers and aspiring writers. It's just wonderful to be part of this team. I'm actually sort of taking I guess I'm on a bit of a hiatus, a self-imposed hiatus from my day job as a TV writer in animation. I'm trying to just kind of stay under the radar a little bit so I can get a couple of my spec scripts done.
Great.
And yeah, it's not going to last too long because business is starting to pick up. It's a little bit cyclical here. So yeah, so I'm just really focusing on that. I've been doing rewrites on them and just elevating them, making them good, and just full on those.
Super. I
Yeah.
like to hear that. Hi, everybody. Ann Kimbrough here. Back again. I'm so happy always when we can all get together.
Lovely.
And for me, I had a producer that I'd worked with earlier in the year, and our project was going pretty good, and then it just kind of slowed down. One of the backers backed out. But I heard from him last week, and it's going again, and he's really thrilled.
Great.
That's all he called to get when they're like, "We love this. We're making this happen no matter what." I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Fantastic.
That's great.
That's super.
Way to go.
So yeah. So I'm glad everybody's good news is very good. I'm not surprised though. Not surprised. So today's episode, number 16, is
Wow.
about feedback versus coverage. This is
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Yeah, I love that.
Right.
We can drive.
Well, and we will drive this topic because I think we've talked about this a little before, and now we can just really no holds bar. But let's talk. To me, it's like a 2-parter. So the first part is feedback, which I'm usually thinking that's peer feedback, right? And then versus paid coverage. Let's just jump right in. You could just take it wherever you want, Eric. What do you get these days?
Feedback, you know, I think what happened for me is I was with Hal when they were script for sale. And back then it was, you know, all these writers always need feedback, right? All this feedback. Like, you know what I mean? And from that point, I was like, you know what, I'm trying to make my skill level so high that I should be able to tell if something's wrong. That was just my thinking. So now when it comes to coverage, you know, it's just, unless the company is going to buy it, kind of getting coverage to me is like a waste of money. To me. This is my own personal thing.
Well, but that's not where you are now, right?
Right. No, even now, I've never got coverage. I don't get coverage unless, like I said, unless it's a company's interested in doing it. They'll have a reader. They'll give me notes.
Yeah.
But it's making it towards getting bought, sold, and produced. Not just I just need to know how it reads. I can get a good writer to do that. So coverage to me, I don't follow it.
So of the two, are you still do you still send something out for a read from someone you trust?
Oh, feedback, yeah, I have my little trusted circle, and that's I don't know if you're going to go into a different part of this, but I have a very trusted circle people who not only are equal or better than you, but also can be honest and can actually tell you why something doesn't work, as opposed to I just don't like it. Like that's really not helping me. And someone who will be brutally honest, but in the right way. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. So I have my trusted circle. That's feedback.
Yeah, I agree too. Heidi, how about you?
Same, almost per letter, the same for me. I've never done paid coverage. I feel so lucky to have a circle of people who read my stuff. And what I especially love is we read each other's stuff, and the distinction I would make is that I trust them so much, I respect them so much. When they make suggestions, it's not to make something different, it's to make something better. Right. And that's always been my litmus test when I get a suggestion. Is this going to make it better, or is it just going to make it different?
Right.
Which is something I just am very sensitive to. So I'm thrilled with my circle of peers.
Super. Nicole Jones-Dion?
I think the key word that Eric said is, like, if you're sending stuff out for people for feedback, make sure they're better than you, or at least at your same level, but preferably better, because you always want to learn, you always want to grow, and if you're sending it out to people just, for them to read, you don't know how well a grasp they actually have on the material. Do you really want to take advice from people who are at a different part of the process than you are? So yeah, the challenge is to always surround yourself with people who are better than you are, so you can aspire and grow and learn. And yeah, feedback versus coverage. It's a little tricky. I don't know. I guess because I do coverage for like script contests and stuff. Some people charge a lot of money for coverage, and I think that's crazy. So it's like, do it within your budget. Be smart. Don't ever send a first draft out for coverage, because it's going to come back bad. If you're going to do coverage, wait until you're pretty sure it's where it needs to be, and if you just need that extra level of affirmation before you find out whether it's market ready, that would probably be the only time I would really recommend it. Because if you're just sending out an early draft, it's gonna come back with notes, and it's gonna be bad. So do the feedback first and save the coverage for when you're really far along in the process.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people rush to get coverage. Well, if you already know what's wrong with it, what's the point?
Yeah,
they're not going to tell you it's great.
Yeah.
Right.
If you know it's bad, they're going to say so too, right?
But I agree with Eric's point too, where it's like, if you can find, and there are certain services out there that are like this, where it's like, if they like it, if they give it a recommend, then they actually have a body of producers or agents or managers that they will then physically recommend it to. Instead of just giving it a stamp of approval, they'll go out and try to set it up somewhere.
Right.
So if you can find a service like that, then you get more bang for your buck that way.
Yeah, I agree. Go for the twofer. Well, like some contests, you're in a contest and you get feedback. That's good.
Yeah.
Nicole Kiefler?
I would say everything that everyone has said already. The other thing I would add is that when I'm asking for feedback from peers, I also, like you guys, have a small circle of very trusted people that I work with. We read each other's work. But it's like, I think it's important also to be specific about what kind of feedback you're looking for.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't need help. Like, if I didn't do the flashback sequence properly according to the Hollywood standards, like, I don't care. I don't need you to be looking at that. Just, does the scene work? Does the third act work, or whatever? Like, be specific about what you're asking for, because otherwise, just, you know, sending someone a draft and like, well, what do you think? It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's kind of, it's pretty big. It's a lot to ask of someone. So I think it's important to be specific about what you're looking for. And as far as coverage goes, I mean, I have gotten coverage. Basically what I do is I'll finish something and then I send it off to my people, you know, that I share stuff with. And then at the end of that, I may, after doing whatever changes, I may then send it off to professional coverage. But my advice with that is I would ask around, like, who has used this person, who has used that person. Really, you know, get feedback, because there are a lot of companies that do it, and I do think to a certain degree sometimes it boils down to personal taste. You know, like, one person can love your script and another person will trash it, and you're like, oh my God, like, you get two completely different opinions on something, and it's the same screenplay, you know. So I think in that regard it's important to be discerning also, you know, and just because someone may have a big name and charge a lot of money, they may not actually be reading the material. It may be going to someone else within their little crew. So I don't know. I think you just need to be discerning. Ask around, find someone that you trust, and maybe stick to that person, you know, as far as paid coverage goes. And then if you can find, like what Anne was saying, or Nicole rather, you know, make sure that the people that you surround yourself with are either at the same level of you as you or better, you know, more experienced.
The other thing, and I guess because I'm a genre writer, I'm just real sensitive to genre stuff, is like, if you've written a horror script, make sure the people who are reading it know horror. Otherwise, you're going to get stupid feedback that no, it doesn't matter. You know, it's just, you just have to be discerning who you send your stuff to.
Eric, you made that mistake.
Oh, she hit that right on the head. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I sent my spiritual spy thriller to someone who was not, almost I would say, is an atheist.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I learned that from what they gave me back, right? And I'm like, once you saw that, you know, God did this, your mind already went to a place that, you know what I mean? It's so I'm just piggybacking off Nicole. If you're an action writer, get action people, please. Yep. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've made the same mistake. I think you got to, even humor is even worse, because I have had like a humorous alien movie, and a thriller writer read it, and they didn't understand any of the humor. And by the end, if I took their notes, it would be a thriller.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's
important to do your homework. I mean, it should be part of your professional tool set, which is do your homework. Be specific on what you want, what you're asking for, who you're sending it to. Like, you got to be specific. You can't just throw it all at the wall and hope something's going to happen. You got to be very specific and targeted of exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all very good advice. I'm going to be boring here and totally agree. I believe in feedback from people that I trust that they're really great writers. I wouldn't actually pay for coverage anymore. I think most of us are at that level. We wouldn't. If it came through a contest, that'd be cool, just to know.
Finish. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have read. Now, here's where everything I'm about to say is about to be thrown out the window. I just read Dimitri's coverage for a script.
From Screenwriting?
Wow. Yes. Wow. All I can say is he used all the skills that we use in Screenwriting, PSA, all that stuff. He knows exactly what you're missing.
Now, the caveat, though, is that Dimitri services are only available to alumni of Screenwriting U. I don't think that's open to the general public. And I have seen his coverage, and it is phenomenal, but I think it's only open to alumni. which is, I guess, one of the perks of being an alumnus. And it's very affordably priced. It's compared to all the other coverage services out there, he does a bang up job. It's amazing.
He could tell you to go what lesson to go back to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I think all of us do have that same shorthand too. I mean, honestly, all the people that I trust for feedback went through the program.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I maybe have one. I know one other writer that isn't, but yeah, that's very clever. So, I mean, we're not trying to put down coverage. I think there's obviously a time and place for it, and definitely when you want to send that kick-ass script out to someone and you know it's ready, it does make sense to get feedback on it from a paid service that's affordable, to just make certain that whatever you're doubting, like you said, Nicole, whatever you're doubting in that script, have them check that over. You could get some insight you need. But overall, I think we agree that we know people. But the trick to that, though, is if you get feedback from them, you have to give feedback, too.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
And I would say my one rule in giving feedback is not to try to change someone's concept.
Absolutely.
Again, it's a whole other show.
Job.
It's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show.
But I mean, that's the trick, and that helps you. You've got to understand what their concept is and try to make it the best it can be. Otherwise, you're not going to help them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's why you do exactly what Nicole Kiefer said. Tell them exactly what you're looking for.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Tell them, I'm not asking for you to add anything to this. All I want you to know is, does this work?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, whatever you're asking.
Well, honestly, if you want to learn how to be a good a screenwriter that can rewrite scripts, you should want to do feedback, because that is the essence of being a good rewriter, is being able to make the most of that concept, right?
Excellent point, man. Excellent point.
Excellent point. Yeah. I like to hear that. Thank you, sir. Well, unless someone has something more to add on that topic, we agree again. What's up with that?
I know. Somebody got to be the dissenting voice. Who is it going to be? Somebody. Come on. Come on.
Well, we're all brilliant. What can I say? But we're going to move on to our game section, which, again, I'm going to do a show and tell. And I think there's a lot to be learned from listening to DVD commentaries, which, of course, now are mostly in the Blu-rays, right? But I thought maybe if you guys are into listening to these like I am, you might be able to offer some suggestions of some really good movies that have great commentaries that would be useful to writers. Nicole Kiefer, have you?
Well, you and I talked about this a little bit before the show. I tend to watch things on Netflix now, so I don't get the commentaries. But I wanted to just talk about this book, which is called Screenplays, How 25 Scripts Made It to a Theater Near You for Better or for Worse. I don't know if you can see it. It's
That's so cool.
It's about 20 years old. I love this book. And it's basically all about screenwriters whose movies have made it, the guy who wrote Gladiator, and so you read all about like how he went from the first draft to the second draft, then he got booted as the writer, became the producer, then Russell Crowe went to him and said, oh my God, we're like shooting, we don't even have a third act, and like this is my reputation, and so you get sort of all the inside scoop about like what actually happens once this screenplay gets sold, or how it gets sold, and what the meetings are like. And I think it's just great. I mean, some of the screenplays are a little bit outdated at this point because they're not super current. But I think it's just a great read. It's a good reference book. Yeah, cool. It's by David S. Cohen.
Fun.
Wow. I'll put it up there. Oh, I love that.
Very cool.
Those kind of stories that are really amazing and give you hope.
Many times the stories behind the movie is more entertaining than the movie.
Than the story.
Yeah.
Well,
I've lived a couple of those stories.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really do the commentary. I don't have time. I'm lucky if I can watch the film. But one thing I do like, if I can find one that's got like the alternate endings, because I like to see the choice that was made and why they picked one particular ending to show in the theater, and a lot of that's done through like market research and test screenings and stuff. But then you'll see like other endings, and you're like, oh, dude, I like that one better. Why did they?
Really?
Yeah.
Have you watched? I watch a lot of those deleted scenes, and I'm like, yeah, they didn't need that for the storytelling.
Oh, some of the deleted scenes, yeah. I mean, they're like, okay, yeah, that needed to be cut. But I've seen some like where the ending was completely different, and then you're like, oh, well, that would have made the movie mean something completely different if they'd gone that direction.
Yeah.
Interesting. Heidi, how about you?
One of my favorite movies is Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And the commentary is just delicious. So I recommend it very highly.
Is it the whole cast? Do you know?
I don't think it's the whole cast. I'm trying to remember specifically who's on it, but I don't think it's the whole cast. It's such a great script. Sure. Yeah. The script is so great. I just love that script.
I did hear that they had a punch-through rewrite at the very end. They all were there together, and they just, threw out a bunch of ideas, which is probably why it's so funny.
It's so funny. It's just so funny, yeah.
Great. Eric?
I never really listened to those.
I guess this was not a good show and tell.
No,
it's great.
No, it's great. But here's what I do.
Ooh.
There's usually it's right now. I think it's mostly action movies. But what I do is you go to setup, and you hit the English descriptive service.
Oh wow!
And what happens is it's mostly action movies right now. But what happens is they will read the script along with the movie.
Interesting.
So that you will learn that you don't need so many words to say something. You learn that, right?
They have a certain amount of time, right? They've got to say it within the time it's on screen.
Right, but the way they'll describe it, it's just like here comes the B-2 bomber overlooks the city. Like that's all they put, and then boom, you're like, that's all you really need? I'm thinking of the sky and the clouds, and people are milling around in the rat race below. Like, you know what I mean? You start thinking of all that, and all they say is the B-4 bomber cast shadow over the city. You're like, oh my God! So that's what I do. But it's mostly action movies. But
I'm going to do that tonight.
Go to setup and then hit English.
Setup English. Well, my gosh. That's like a job, right? Someone has to write that.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
The transcriptions, yeah, I think those are the transcribers that do that.
It's a whole art form.
Right.
Interesting. Well, mine was, I had like two, because Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that's Shane Black is on there. So we've talked a lot about Shane Black. I think it's worth it if you just want to hear. If you've never heard Shane Black talk, here he's talking throughout this movie. You've got to check that out. Right. And then a really good one is Scream with it's Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson. Wow. That's one to watch. I love that movie anyway. It's classic. Right. So if you have the time when you're not writing, check that out. All right, I appreciate that, guys, and. It's funny to see. I guess I'm alone in the person that watches those. I only buy some movies just to see the commentary.
Yeah, I love the commentary.
Okay. We're going to move on to our Q&A from the audience. This one, we're so far into the year. This is about contests, like what contest should you be writing for right now? Not just because most of the big ones are passed, so you might want to be working on something that's coming up next year, or is there any really cool contest you know of that's happening between now and the end of the year that someone could polish a script, maybe even start one? Eric?
The only thing I could think of offhand is, but if you have a spiritual script, they have the Kairos. Prize coming up November 1st is the final deadline, so you got about 2.5 weeks maybe to sharpen what you have. Well, I guess 3 weeks, but yeah, that's
I'll put up the link.
That's like 50. I think it's like 50K or something like that. But that's only like the big one at the end of the year that I can really think of.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good one, Heidi.
I don't know any between now and the end of the year. I'm not 100% sure what the timetable is, but of course the ones that come to mind are the Nickel.
Those are always usually. There's several big ones like Final Draft and stuff in May.
Exactly.
So now's a good time to start if you want to write something from scratch.
Absolutely. Start tomorrow.
Yes.
Or tonight. Start tonight. Yeah.
Working on that high concept.
Yep.
Nicole Jones-Dion?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking actually to see if there was anything between now and the end of the year. Trackingbee.com's got one. I don't know if it's a good one. But they're still open. I just got an email from. Oh, go ahead.
No, I like Tracking B because it's read by people that are buying scripts. That's what you win.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was another one that I saw today. I got spammed on. Got like 15 different emails telling me this is the deadline for something that's coming up, but I don't remember. Emerging Screenwriters, I think.
It's emerging, yeah.
Yeah, was that one?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's any good. I mean, I was having this debate last night actually with a development exec, and she's like, the only contest that matters is nickels. And then I always play my same little trump card, which is unless you're a genre writer. If you're a genre writer, nickels is not a good contest for you.
Right.
And I'm sure the nickels people are probably going to hate me for saying that. But if you write drama or thrillers or action, it's fantastic. But if you're a horror writer, you really need to find contests that are either genre specific or have genre categories.
Yeah.
If you want to make any kind of dent at all.
Good point. Nicole Kiefler?
I agree. I don't really have much to add, but I really like the point that Nicole just made, that when entering the contests, figure out what genre you're writing in and make sure that it's appropriate to the contest, Or you could be disappointed when you don't really necessarily need to be. It's just you entered something that wasn't necessarily going to support what you're doing to begin with.
That's a good point. That's a good point. For me, this Blue Cat, because that's coming up here, I don't even know. What's the deadline? I have it somewhere. October, but they have a later deadline in November even. They have two. So they have a feature and they have a short script contest. Oh, wow. And that's a contest run by Screenwriters, so the money's kind of nice, and that's one where you do get some, they don't call it feedback, they call it, I don't know, they give you a little information about your script. What is
Right.
The other one that's coming up shortly, and it might be also October, November, is SinQuest, and that's attached to a film festival. So what I think what's cool about that is that you have that networking. If you actually place as a finalist, I believe you win going. So it's not like there's just one prize.
Right.
I think they take a number of finalists, they bring them there, and then you network and go, hell yeah, I had a script that was a finalist.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
Those are my things.
I think that's all, and all that information is perfect. I think it's so important, like everyone was saying. Make sure you read all the info about who's going to be judging and all this kind of stuff. I remember doing I had a spoof comedy in the realm of Naked Gun and Airplane and Top Gun. What's that? Charlie Sheen. What is that? Hot Shot.
Yeah.
Right? So I had something like that, and I sent it to a straight drama competition, and they was like, "You should not be writing." It was just like, what?
You should not be writing.
You should not, because they were looking for all the dramatic elements, and I'm doing all this silly stuff in the script. You know how they are.
Yeah, they're looking for Oscar moments, and you've got rubber. Yeah.
Like, what? You're not ready for this. Like, what? I still have that letter too. I still have it.
Frame it. Frame that one.
Oh yeah. It all motivation comes from a lot of places. Trust me. But yeah, just make sure you know there's a reason why. Because sometimes I think Nicole Austin is a home run. I know Blackboard's done a lot of stuff. The Blacklist. I'm sorry, Blacklist is. There's home runs, but there's also nothing wrong with hitting a couple singles, a couple doubles, a couple triples. You know what I mean? I mean, in a sports analogy, is just you're in the
Perfect
game.
For you.
Oh, you know what I mean? Hey, come on.
It's a good analogy.
You know what I mean? So
it definitely applies.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Those sort of feed in with everything we've been talking on this show and the last show. Please go see the last show. And it's new for us, right? Well, guys, we did it again. Another episode of Screenwriters Feed. Woo! Yay! Thank you for being here. I'm going to have us all sign off by saying, what kind of work are you looking for? Those of us that are looking, I know some of you are just hammered with a lot of good work, but we'll go around. Nicole Kiefler?
Well, at the moment, honestly, at the moment, I'm not looking. I'm staying under the radar. But in about a month, I will emerge, and I'll be looking for writing assignments. I'll be looking for animation work again, and all that good stuff. I'm looking to sell my spec scripts.
Yay, bravo. Nicole Jones-Dion, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as the other Nicole. I got to finish up the 2 projects I'm working on now, so maybe in like another month I'll be able to come back up for air and see what else is out there.
Cool, cool. Heidi, I know you're pitching.
Yeah, I'm always looking for lovely people to work with to make other lovely people laugh.
Hey. Brilliant, well said.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Oh, that was so beautiful. I love you, Heidi. You're so beautiful.
I love you! I love you all!
Okay. I'm sorry. That's so true. That's so Heidi, though. That's so her. If you guys know her, that's so her. You know what I mean? I love that. I love that. No, what I'm doing right now is I'm finishing up 2 comedies that they're written. I just gotta polish them, and then I'm gonna do a novel of one of my scripts, and
Great.
then
Ooh.
I have a
Great.
big to do. I'm gonna say here first. Here you go. Okay, here we go. Starting October 15th, I want to do 12 scripts in 12 months.
Cool!
Wow! Wow!
Wait, do you already have the concepts?
I probably have about 7 of them.
Cool!
Wow.
But, I mean, concepts are not hard for me. It's just deciding which one.
And so you haven't outlined them, anything? You're just...
No, how I know something needs to work is when it won't leave my mind.
Uh-huh.
Like it won't go to sleep. It won't shut up. It's like, okay, I need to start diving into this. But I already have probably, like I said, I have 3 that are first draft written that I'm finally gonna get to. So that's 3 of them. So it's not, but it's still new.
I think you need a head start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta kind of get emotion going, you know. So I'll start there, and then the other ideas. I have a whole file of probably about 200 or 300 ideas that I'll.
Wow.
Well, we will be checking
impressive.
back with you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the most I've ever done in a year was 8 and feature-length scripts, and that's a
great.
lot. So
That's
if you
great.
can pull off 12, I will buy you a drink.
1 a month. Okay. Karen, is Karen Mueller? She did 12 novels.
Novels.
Right?
Yeah.
She did it, so it could be done, but it's just kind of like saying, Eric, take it to the next level. That's what I'm doing.
Pick it up a notch.
Pick it up.
All right.
Go. So I was going to announce
Power
it like
to you.
in a different way, but we're here. Here it is. I'm putting it out there on the internet. This was October 15th is when I'm starting.
Okay, man.
Awesome.
That is great.
Oh my God! What have I done?
It is now public knowledge.
I know.
You can't
It's on the
take it
internet
back.
now. It's forever.
You're screwed!
If I had hair, I would be pulling it out, right?
You can do it. I know you can.
We're doing it.
You're doing it. Well, guys, I'm open for rewrite assignments. I've got a ton of stuff just waiting, so I have this little window of opportunity. So I would say yes, even though I probably shouldn't take on anything new. I would right now, if someone wanted me. So, and I know that as we're all open for rewrite assignments, except Eric.
No, I will make that caveat. I'm glad you said that. If a pay gig comes in, we're gonna adjust.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, let's all pray for Eric and his wonderful challenge. And thank you, guys. It's wonderful for you to take your time. As you've just stated, you're all really busy, and I really appreciate you coming and hanging out at Screenwriters Beat. Thanks to our audience. Please like us and subscribe. And we'll see you for another Screenwriters Beat really soon. Bye!